And just because I can't start one Brainstream without a bunch more coming up, because that's what happens to ideas or concepts when you get started on them, I'm going to do one more. And I want to just talk about this example. I've given it before, but I want to build on it. And this is for the people also that haven't seen. Again, a reminder that these brain streams are all going to be interconnected. Everyone, I hope that you learn from something. But again, it's me also organizing my ideas and creating things from them. But this is exactly, I guess, my point. When I'm doing a brain stream, I sit down and I usually have a conversation that I've had with someone that has sparked something. I've read a news article of something that's finally come out that I had a conversation with 10 years ago with someone, and we finally see it happening. Or I play with a new project, play with a new application, work on a new project, and that prompts a interest, that prompts an excitement, that prompts a desire to share or to work on it, to think about it, or to build on something that has been there before. And I think this is the perfect example of these brain streams themselves, and I think it's why I come back to it because it's kind of meta. My goal of doing these videos is not to become a social media influencer. It's not to spend my times working on my marketing on social media. It's to be able to clarify and share my thoughts with people that have asked for them, or kind of in a way a journal of things that I've had conversations in the past where people will come back to me. And this happens almost weekly, where in, people come up and say, remember that conversation we had 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, last week? I finally read it, finally saw it, and I finally understand what you're talking about. Thought you were absolutely nuts back then. And so this is just a way of sharing it, and also it gets the creative juices flowing. Um, and this is something I've been working on for over a decade, is this operating system or the next operating system. No, I'm not taking, no pun intended on Steve Jobs' next OS. But this is exactly the point, that sometimes you do something, or you get bogged down in working on something. And this happens actually daily in most people's jobs. You're not working because you like to do the work. You're working because you need to go through this process in order to pay the bills. Here in this creative realm, I'm not doing these videos in order. The goal is not, again, for the social media. The goal is to share, and also to clarify and work on these ideas to help build them out into this product. So every time I press record, there's like a 5 or 6 step process, 5 to 10 step process, let's put it that way, that I need to take before I can publish it up and share it with people. And it's like, why am I doing that? That should be automated. And this is where the beauty of AI is. And this is also the example of, this is what computers should be there. Computers are there to help us do our jobs faster and better. Right, before the washing machine, why is it considered a revolutionary tool? It's taking something that used to take hours out of your day, and it's become something that you should be able to press some buttons in 10 seconds, and then you come back and deal with it after a time period. That's a tool, right? That's a tool that has saved time and has changed worlds. That tool, like a computer that is constantly getting better and shaving down times, this is where this is the same thing with AI, right? AI as a tool is also going to take these things that before took many hours and will reduce it in times. In some cases, it will completely eliminate that. The way I see it, it'll eliminate that to fill up, to free up your time to be able to do something else, which hopefully it'll also be able to take away time. But over here exactly is the point of, like, if you know your way around computers, the better you get at computers, you will be able to learn how to automate different processes. Now, is that fair to people that don't know how to automate? That's not even a conversation that comes up, like, because that sounds ridiculous. Again, with AI, it's the same thing. AI's power, and where the computer will get powerful, is You have certain goals that you're trying to do. Your AI will help you achieve those goals. And a big part of it is it'll automate. But not just that it'll automate it, because computers can automate. It'll democratize automation to a place where any person will be able to automate with natural language. Natural language is powerful because it's something we all do. But again, this is where this is also what is reducing all the barriers in the applications, right? Applications kind of showed us a sandbox and says these are the features that you can work with, and if you get proficient, you'll learn how to use them. The same way in computers, in when you want to get stuff done, automation will be helping everybody. Now, when you do something, or when you do something in computers, when I do something, they work, and I find myself reusing similar things and going into different tracks. So, for example, I'm looking right now. I've got a folder full of pictures. There are a bunch of ways that I want to use those pictures. Why I took them, what I want to create with them, what kind of creative powers that could build up, and all of those pictures are tied to different projects, interests, all these different things. But to be able to create from them, sometimes you have to focus on one, and with Photoshop, you would take one and maybe like alter it or something. But just like a video, there is media or there is files, there is documents that do not just have a one-time use. And again, when I had a conversation yesterday about this, I keep coming back to this idea of like the computer, the operating system of today is all about the what. We've created that application to show you the end of the day. It doesn't. It says this is what I can do, and hopefully the marketing is I'm going to try help you get the job done. But the interface of the future, the computer of the future, is more going to be this is your dream. Okay, let's help you try shoot to there, and then we'll help sculpt out of try figure out how to help get you to actually develop that dream of what you want to get to. So, for example, over here, when I take a video, I want to end up with being able to post it up in the right places, being able to ask the right questions, being able to summarize it, being able to help different people. So, part of that is making a transcription. But I just have been watching a video of this guy called Vin Jiang. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. He's an Australian bloke who helps with communication, how to better communicate. This is something that we all can do well. I can definitely do better in it and clarify my concepts and my thoughts as well. But one thing he says is he says, okay, record yourself speaking for 5-10 minutes, which makes these brain streams great for it. And he's like, there's a three-step process. First, listen to it without the video, right? And just hear how you speak, your tone, your volume, your pitch, the way you pause, where you pause, if you pause. Then do one where you're just watching and you have muted it so you can see how you're communicating non-verbally. And the last one is to get the transcription and see how you're working. Okay, so perfect, but I've already pulled the transcription because of how I want to do socially. So in today, if I want to use AI, and obviously it's much, much faster, much better, easier to do this. But now what this means, it's a whole new chat interface with whatever AI you want to use. Now, AI is trying to build different applications or different interfaces to try work well. They've started off with a chat interface, which is linear, it's hierarchical, it's synchronous. They've tried to also do like canvases, documents and you can manipulate different things in part of that. There's also the graph nodes and everything. And I talk about other ones where Apple has a great use case of being able to build this in. Obviously, the personal use case is massive. Not many AIs are doing that very well. And in your ecosystem, in your operating system, personalization is going to obviously be one of the huge keys in this. But over here, I have so many things that tie into each other, and I want to automate and keep doing the same things. So when I take a video, automatically, the transcription should be happening. I shouldn't have to necessarily do anything. Um, just in order to save time. But that same transcript that on one hand is going into all these different nodes of the social media thing of like, okay, help me see the sentiment, help me get a description, titles, thumbnails, ideas, all those things for the social media is one side. The other hand, I should be able to have some utility that's actually analyzing the way I'm speaking and things like that, and then giving me pointers. Kind of like a glorified dashboard. But that doesn't exist now in one application. Again, this is now going into where the interface is going to build on. And obviously in the next videos, I'm going to keep building on that. And I'm also working on actually building that out. And I'll hopefully give you guys some mock-ups, things like that to work on in the future. But that's just one example, many use cases. I'll see you guys in the future.